Like I said, next up, these are all of the reds and sort of orangey reds, deep reds that I have in my collection. So let's lay these all out and let's get started. Okay, and I started doing swatches and realized I wasn't recording. Yay me. Okay, real quick. More muted reds to brighter or to more classic reds to more rusty colored reds to more orangey colored reds. So that's kind of the flow here. I was comparing real quickly the Katy Kat Matte from CoverGirl to Daiquiri shade in the Tarte Rainforest Sea collection. And as you can see, they're actually quite a bit different. One is more berry toned, that's the Katy Perry, sorry, more pink toned. This one has definitely got more orange in it. Kind of considering keeping both of them just for their undertone alone. I like these reds that they're more muted, as you will see, than some of the brighter reds down here. This is one of those e.l.f. Studio lipsticks. It's like $1. This is in the shade Posh. And this is another one of those reds that kind of, like I said, see, it's red, but it's more muted. I like shades like this. I like them for work. Kind of tempted to keep all three of them. Not off to a great start right now. Okay, this is ColourPop Matte X, another one of those super matte formulas in Trust Me. A lot of these reds I'm just gonna have to swatch and then decide if I like them based on formula, because I think a lot of these shades are gonna end up looking very similar. This is an e.l.f. matte. Sometimes they print the word matte lipstick on here and sometimes they don't. I don't understand. Rowdy Rouge is the shade here. I mean, it's definitely that tomato red color, but I think I have tomato reds that I like better than this. I'm gonna pass this one. This is the Bite Lip Crayon in Pomegranate. It's definitely one of their more popular shades. It is dark, really pretty though. I think I'm gonna hang on to it. This is a Wet n Wild in Cherry Picking. Oh, that's almost a fuchsia. Meh, pass. This is the Tati LOC in the shade Wildest Dreams. It is another one of those sort of tomato reds. It's not bad. It just, some reds I put on my skin and they really brighten up my face. Others don't. I'm gonna pass this one along. I don't feel like this is one of those reds that brightens my face. I'm gonna jump to one that I know does and maybe use that as a comparison as we keep going. This is a NYX Simply Red, what do they call this? Lip Cream. These are incredibly pigmented. Well, you can see it's just a little bit more vibrant and a little less, I don't know, maybe it's a little more blue based. It just makes my face light up brightly, makes my teeth look white. I love this shade. I'm keeping this and I may use this as kind of a comparison. This is the Maybelline Color Drama, another one of those ones that you can't get in the US but is available in Canada. That is really pretty. I may hang on to this just because I want to keep one. I went through such hoops to get this. I definitely want to keep one of the ones that I got. This is MAC Ruby Woo. Definitely think the Matte X formula from ColourPop is probably, that is like almost a straight up dupe for one another. I'm gonna reach for Ruby Woo over ColourPop. I do think these are close to being a dupe. I'm gonna write them down as such, but MAC's gonna stay, ColourPop's gonna go. Okay, so this is one that I got in an Ipsy bag. This is from the brand Tease Cosmetics. I thought the packaging was really cute on it, to be honest. It's just your classic sort of deep red, but it is a little deeper and a little more muted. I don't know. Watch me justify keeping 30,000 reds. You know what I'm gonna do? I think a lot of these shades are gonna start to look like this one. I'm gonna wipe my hand off and then start with this, comparing to the other ones that are in this collection further down. Real fast before I do that, this is the Revlon Kiss Balm in Apple. I love this one. It just gives a hint of color to the lips. It's not super red, it's very sheer as you can see. I really like this. The apple smells amazing too. All right, clean hand. I'm gonna swatch this and keep going so we can see. I do like this. It's definitely a classic blue-based red. It's very creamy and comfortable, so I don't mind keeping a more matte red and a more creamy red. I know I'm keeping Ruby Woo, but let's just swatch it next to it for comparison. Ruby Woo might be a little more warm, whereas this one's a little more blue-based, but very similar. This is Gwen Stefani 714. This is still part of their permanent collection. This is very similar to Ruby Woo as well. It's matte. I'm torn on this one. I really love Gwen Stefani, and to me this is the red she always wears. It's a little less drying than Ruby Woo too. I don't know. This is a maybe. This is an MUA lipstick in the shade Poppy. Yeah, that one's okay. I'm gonna pass that along. This is a Velvet Passion in 312, but it's a little bit more blue-based. And then this is Red Carpet Red by Charlotte Tilbury. This one's a little deeper if I remember correctly. No, those are very similar. Okay, now I have a problem. Because these three are all matte. They are all very similar. I'm going to get rid of the Kiko. I'm going to keep my Charlotte Tilbury. It's definitely deeper and darker. And this is getting held for sentimental reasons. I just like having a red lipstick that was designed by Gwen Stefani. That's kind of her perfect red. So sentimental reasons for keeping. This is still TBD. This is one of the Kiss Button Lips from Eco Tools. Yeah, see, that's a lot brighter of a red. I'm gonna hang on to Eat. This is a little baby Burberry lipstick. It's adorable. I'm probably not gonna reach for it though. I'm gonna pass this on. Somebody else will love it. Oh, that is the shade, sorry, Military Red. So, Military Red by Burberry. Let's see, this is an e.l.f. Ruby Red. This is part of their moisturizing line. It's deeper. And then this is one called Razzle Dazzle Red that has actually got a metallic in it. I think I'm gonna pass these two along. And I think I'm gonna keep this one. It's both for packaging and I like the fact that I have a creamy version. A lot of the reds I have are matte. Let's talk about these more bricky, deeper reds. This is a NARS, let's see, Velvet Matte Lip Pencil in Cruella. It is definitely that sort of deep brick red. Don't have a lot of these. I've never bought a full size. I've just done samples. My sister adores these. I'm tempted to keep this one. This is another one of those Eco Soul, more rusty red. I do think I'm gonna pass this one along. This is a Sonia Kashuk. You can't get this anymore. It was part of their Grand Bazaar collection, but it is a really deep, rusty red color. It's pretty, but I'm gonna pass it on. And I'm gonna keep this NARS one. Okay, now we're dealing with more of the oranges and bright orangey red colors. I'm gonna jump around a little bit just to try and keep these set by color family. So let's start with some of the more muted shades down here. This is the shade Coral from MUA. This is probably my favorite one that I have from them. It's definitely a muted sort of coral reddish pink color. This is another one of those ones that I just think looks really pretty, brightens up my face, so I'm definitely hanging on to it. This is Julep. This is Electric Coral Cream. Although I've been keeping most of these, I think this is one I'm going to pass along. It's very, very bright for a balmy lipstick. Okay, so this is one of the e.l.f. matte crayons. This is in Catwalk Orange. It's an interesting sort of muted rusty orange color. I don't feel like I have anything else left like it in my collection, so I do think I want to hang on to him. All right, this is a Revlon Color Balm in 245 Audacious. It's a very neon, sort of white-based one. I don't love how this shade, even though I like bright oranges, I don't love how this one looks on my lips. I'm gonna pass it on. This is from Bite. This is the shade Clementine. This is my favorite orange red of life. It is just the right amount of orange and red and tomato. And when I want an orange lipstick, this is kind of the standard that I look to. I think if you've been hesitant to try orange lipsticks in the past, looking at something like this is a great option. Don't let this cap fool you. It is not that color, clearly. But I love this one, not parting with it. This is a Matte X in Generation X with a J from ColourPop. It is pretty similar to the Bite I just swatched, with the exception of it being glossy versus matte. TBD on this one. I do want to hang on to it for just a second to compare it to some of the ones further down. This is another one of the Revlon HD. This is HD Sunset. This is definitely more of a coral pink one. I'm gonna pass on this one. This is a Total Intensity lip crayon from Prestige Cosmetics. It's more of a glossy, more muted orange red. It is pretty. Am I going to reach for it? Probably not. This is from Japanesque. The packaging is gorgeous. It has sort of this red cap on one end and then this watercolor on the other. This is the shade 04. And this is definitely more of a red, but it definitely got a warm undertone to it. I really do like that color. All right, that's TBD on that. This is a Urban Decay. This is another one of their sheer in Slow Burn. I'm actually gonna throw that away because if you were ever curious about what mold looks like on a lipstick, that is what you should look for. Little white mold spores growing all over the top. So this is Wildfire. This is part of the new Urban Decay, or this is part of the Urban Decay collection and their new packaging. This is a fascinating shade that's unlike anything in my collection. It is orange and copper and metallic, and I get so many questions on what the heck I am wearing every time I do this. To me, this is how you do a metal lipstick correctly. I love this shade, not parting with it. Next up, this is Miley Cyrus Viva Glam 2. This is a red orange tomato shade 2, also very matte. And if I remember correctly, this ended up being very similar. This is Tell Laura. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly the same shade there. So that same tomato red. So I don't think Viva Glam is available anymore. Charlotte Tilbury Tell Laura is. I'm going to pass on the MAC and keep the Charlotte Tilbury. This is from Revlon. This is 712 Hot Coral. That is really pretty, but it looks like 10 other things I have on my arm right now. This is Fired Up Matte by This is Sexy Mother Pucker line by Soap and Glory. This was also very similar, if I recall, to those down there. Yes, it is. And then last but not least, this is new to my collection. This is the Matte et Bash. This is from L'Oreal, their new matte line that came out for summer. And this is the most neon orange that I definitely have. It is white based, but it goes on kind of interesting. I haven't spent enough time with a shade this bright and orange, so I'm kind of tempted to keep it at this point. Okay, back to these guys. I think I'm going to pass on this ColourPop one. I think I have other mattes that I will reach for over it. And then this Japanesque one, it's pretty, but I don't think I'm going to reach for it over other ones in my collection either. So I'm going to pass this one on. So I'm going to go off and total, and we'll be right back. Okay, so this is the first time I've actually decluttered more than I've kept. So I'm keeping 19, I'm decluttering 21, so 52% of the collection is gone. And I really do like the reds and the oranges and more muted colors that I have in here. I think I'm going to reach for all of these, so I'm feeling very good about this section. Next, we are moving on to berries and plum tones, so get ready for that.